Hello and welcome to the V-Ray for SketchUp series. In the previous episode, we went through different tools and color correction options that the VFP offers. In this episode, I will show you how you can set an evening scene by using only the sun and sky system. Before we start setting the sun and sky, we will add V-Ray Light Mix. This is a render element that allows us to interact with different types of light sources from our scene. We can change their intensity and color inside the VFP while rendering or after the image has been rendered. V-Ray Light Mix is a big time saver that can be utilized in different ways. In this tutorial, I will show you some of its main functionality, and in future episodes I will show you its full potential. We can add the V-Ray Light Mix from the Render Element tab. Based on the way we have added our lights, we can choose the way Light Mix will group them. Right now, we only have the sun as a light source, so let's keep it set on individual lights. Let's start an interactive render to visualize our changes. As mentioned in previous episode, the sun's orientation can be accessed from the SketchUp shadow tray as well as from the custom orientation parameters in the asset editor, so you can choose the option you feel most comfortable with. Because I like the precision of the V-Ray custom orientation, let's open the lighting tab and set the sun and sky parameters from there. The first thing we're going to do is change the position of the sun. Let's move it in the frame of our render and lower it a bit so we can start seeing the beautiful sunset gradient. Right now you can notice that our sun is just a bright white ball. In the real world, when we take a picture of the sun, we will see different types of lens effects happening. That's because when sunlight reaches the camera's lens, it will be scattered or filtered, causing different types of artifacts. In the layers tree, we have something called lens effects. Let's turn them on. You can see that immediately we start getting a bloom effect around the sun. The effect can be controlled with the size and intensity sliders. Something very distinctive about the sun are the sun flares. We can achieve that effect by enabling the blades option in the aperture dropdown. Now we can write the amount of sides we want our sun to have. By scrolling down in the lens effects menu, you can see different types of lens effects that are appropriate for different situations. You should test them out yourself and see what fits best for your project. Now let's go to the source RGB layer. Here we're presented with three different options. Selecting the RGB option means that V-Ray will preview the image as it's rendered without the composites or light changes from the light mix. By selecting the light mix option, we'll get access to all of the light sources in our scene. And lastly, the composite option, which allows us to composite different elements. We'll go over this option in more detail in future episodes. Every time we add a light mix render element, we'll get the environment, self-illumination, and rest categories. Because we have the sun activated, we also have the sun as a light source. If we don't like the amount of light the sun is casting, we can simply increase the multiplier. We can also add a tint to our sun color from here. Right now the position of our sun is in sunset position, and I would like to see more orange than blue in the sky. We can easily do that by changing the environment color, which represents the sky color. And just like that, with a few tweaks, we got our sunset shot. Now let's create a nice scenario. To do so, we will lower the sun under the horizon. You will notice that without the sun, our scene becomes very dark. To change that, we can just increase the intensity of the environment. Finally, let's add a bit of a blue tint to the environment color. In this episode, we managed to create different evening scenarios only with the sun and sky parameters. Then we use the V-Ray Light Mix option to easily achieve our desired result. Join me in the next episode in which we'll add HDRIs, after which we'll take a look at different artificial lights. I hope you found this tutorial useful and you will try some of these tips in your own personal work. Thank you for being part of the V-Ray experience.